sometimes I feel like half these women posting hashtag Me Too, they're really just showing off to their girlfriends that, oh, look, well, guess what? Men have tried to seduce me too, because you know what? Men like me too. Hey girl, you think you're the only one who could say me too because you got men trying to seduce you? Well, you know what? Me too. I'm part of the club. I'm sexy enough that I got men trying to seduce me everywhere I go. Look at all the stories I got. Me too. Like, I really think that's the case. And again, I'm not talking about rape. I'm not talking about pedophilia. I'm not talking about being drugged. So apparently every single man on the face of the planet is a fucking sexual harasser, a rapist. This is what you'd be forced to conclude by the number of accusations surfacing now, especially in Hollywood. Like, it's not like it's just a bunch of random feminists on college campuses complaining. Now it's like famous actresses complaining about other famous male actors and celebrities. Steven Seagal just got accused by some female actor, I think, or model. She's actually the wife of of the lesbian Ellen DeGeneres. And this wife of Ellen DeGeneres, I forget her name, she went onto Twitter and she's like, one time I was auditioning for a Steven Seagal film, and Steven Seagal invited me into his office because he said that chemistry has to be good on camera and off camera. So he invited me into his office, and then he unzipped his pants, and I went running out, and it was so terrible. Ah! She ran away, and now she's on Twitter, hashtag Me Too. What I find interesting about this whole topic, and don't get me wrong, I love to see mainstream Hollywood implode, because Hollywood was always supposed to be so liberal, and now it's just another fucking nest of horny ass motherfuckers trying to stick it in. So much for liberal. What I find interesting is that it's very easy for all these women to go onto Twitter and hashtag Me Too. Hashtag Me Too. It's very easy to complain about men initiating themselves onto you when you as a woman, on average, aren't expected to initiate in the dating game. It reminds me of one of my favorite books, The Way of the Superior Man, and it talks about male, female, masculine versus feminine dynamics. And yes, you could actually get it for free. You can get it right now for $0 if you sign up for Audible. So I will put a link to the book in the description below. Be sure to check it out. Now, to be clear, I'm not talking about actual rape. I'm not talking about actual drugging of somebody and raping them. I'm not talking about like the Charlie Sheen allegations that he supposedly raped a 13-year-old boy. I'm not talking about pedophilia. I'm not talking about drugging and actual raping. I'm just talking about the blurred line when men, on average, are expected to be the initiators when it comes to the dating game. And when the burden of initiating is almost entirely on men, because that's just the social structure we have for so many years, don't you think things are going to get a little sloppy sometimes? And how much can you really blame men when they kind of go overboard in trying to seduce women? The truth is that, on average, look, somebody has to break the ice, right? Someone has to break the ice. When we're talking about men and women, dating, sex, interacting, flirting, somebody's got to break the ice. Somebody has to be the first person to make contact with the opposite sex and get the ball rolling, right? And on average, women aren't expected to be the initiators. Men, the burden of initiation is on men. So I think it's pretty convenient, and it's pretty ironic when women go around complaining how bad it is that a man tried to seduce me. I'm not talking about the rape. I'm not talking about the pedophilia. I'm just talking about men who try to seduce a woman, but they go a little too far. And, people say, well, you don't have to unzip your pants in front of a woman in your office to, couldn't you think of something a little more smooth? Well, here's the problem with that. I'm not recommending the unzip your pants routine that apparently Steven Seagal is accused of. May not be true, the allegations, but of being accused of. I don't recommend that approach, but I am saying that women like confident, assertive men. And the more masculine, unabashedly masculine you can be, in many cases that actually works in getting the interest of a woman. But where do you draw the line on what's pushing it too far? I think it's super convenient that these women can just go around saying, oh, a guy tried to seduce me. He put his arm around me in the movie theater. It's so hashtag me too. It's so bad. I feel like sometimes they're not really complaining. Sometimes I feel like half these women posting hashtag me too, they're really just showing off to their girlfriends that, oh, look, well, guess what? Men have tried to seduce me too, because you know what? Men like me too. Hey girl, you think you're the only one who could say me too because you got men trying to seduce you? Well, you know what? Me too. I'm part of the club. I'm sexy enough that I got men trying to seduce me everywhere I go. Look at all the stories I got. Me too. I really think that's the case. And again, I'm not talking about rape. I'm not talking about pedophilia. I'm not talking about being drugged. I'm talking about just the blurred line when the burden of initiation rests almost entirely on men. Nazi haircut. When the burden of initiation rests almost entirely on men, what are you supposed to do about that? So I think it's very convenient. But somebody has to initiate. Somebody has to break the ice. I don't see women doing the majority of the approaching. I'm sorry. So someone's got to do it. And I think it's just really ridiculous and ironic and convenient to sit on your ass when you have the privilege of not having to initiate, not having to break the ice in the dating game, and complain that men aren't doing it good enough. That's fucking hilarious. How do you recommend it? Because the truth is that women do create an incentive for men to be as aggressive as possible in the dating game. They really do. One of the primary ways that women create an incentive for men to become as aggressive as possible, like if you had a spectrum from not aggressive to aggressive, not aggressive would be like the dude who can't even fucking speak a word around a woman that he wants to fuck. And then too aggressive would be like Steven Seagal unzipping his pants. Okay, that's a spectrum here. One of the primary ways that women create an incentive for this is when they play hard to get, or when they throw up shit tests or bitch shields. Okay, these are all terms, you got to look them up, figure out what they mean. I've been over it before a million times, but it's just evolutionary psychological tactics that women deploy against men to determine if he's a suitable mate. Well, that's right. A lot of women, it's almost instinctual, playing hard to get, or throwing a shit test at you, meaning when you guys are flirting, she kind of makes fun of the way you look, or she attacks you for how tall you are, or she says, wow, what you said was not funny, that's pretty stupid. A lot of times these women are actually interested in you when they're insulting you. They just want to see how well you can handle an insult. It's a great test to determine if the man that she's talking to is a competent, socially stable, a strong male. So that's kind of the irony, is that when a woman insults you, don't take it personally. When a woman insults you, what you really should think is, this is a great sign, because it means she's interested enough in me to even care to test whether or not you're worthy of being in her pants. So usually when a girl starts insulting you like that, you should actually sigh relief. It's actually a good sign. Because if she wasn't interested in you, she wouldn't even bother to test you to see how strong of a man you are, to see whether or not she wants your dick inside of her. But yes, when a woman does this, when a woman puts up resistance, like she insults you, which is basically designed to make you fucking cower, tuck your tail between your legs, and you scurry away. When a woman plays hard to get and pretends she doesn't like you, but she actually does, but she just wants to see how confident and assertive you are in the face of her resistance, her feigned resistance, she's basically, I like to call it, she's rape baiting. Playing hard to get is rape baiting. Putting up fake resistance to test how confident and assertive you are is rape baiting. That's what I like to call it, rape baiting. Because she's encouraging you to continue to push yourself onto her even while she's pretending to not want you. She pretends to not like you to see if you're confident and ballsy enough to still go after her when she's pretending to not want you. That's rape baiting. Because by modern standards, with all this hashtag Me Too shit, that's basically rape baiting. That's basically rape. That's grounds for a woman going onto Twitter and saying, hashtag Me Too, a guy put his arm around me in the movie theater. Ugh. Fucking ridiculous. Somebody's got to break the ice, all right? And we live in a sexual marketplace where women naturally and instinctually, and I'm not condemning women for it, I'm just pointing out the observable phenomena, women create an incentive for men to be more and more assertive and aggressive. When aggressive, I don't mean necessarily violent. I just mean aggressive in his attempts to flirt with her and make her like him. It's the friend zone phenomenon. It's common. Everybody knows about the friend zone. This is not a conspiracy theory. Everybody knows about the friend zone. This is real phenomena. And what is the friend zone? The friend zone is what happens when you're not asserting yourself onto the woman enough. When her initial resistance gets to your head and you let it control and extinguish that natural male energy that you have for her. The friend zone is what happens when you sacrificed who you truly are and what you truly want because she was shit testing you to see how high caliber your masculine desires are, and you took her word for it. She pretended to not like you, and now you're miserable. It's a game that women play instinctually. And a lot of men don't understand it. A lot of men, that's how men become male feminists. They try to seduce a girl, and she's like, gave him the cold shoulder. But these male feminists, they got given the cold shoulder, and they're like, nothing I do works. Even when I'm really nice to her, it doesn't work. She just uses me for my wealth, and her vagina is dry as hell. She can't seem to find me interesting. So, yeah, it's so easy. Oh, me too. Like you guys are out of control. It's so easy to complain when you don't have to initiate, when you have the privilege of having the passive role in the dating game. Women have the passive role, men have the active role. So easy to complain. Thank you guys for watching, and that's just one of the reasons that I love the Donald Trump presidency. Because, hey, remember, grab them by the pussy is the old phrase. And Donald Trump has made it politically correct for men to be men. And actually, just yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of the Trump victory on election night. And the guy has just been really just killing it, doing fantastic work as a representative of the people in this thing we call a country, as quote, taxpayers. And Donald Trump has really helped make being masculine politically correct again. And I do think it's a sign of times to come. So, hey, Trump, keep doing what you're doing, and I'll be advocating for you in 2020 when you hopefully run again. Guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to get one of these incredible Trump 2020 t-shirts. I'll put a link to them in the description below. Thank you guys for watching.
Fight back against YouTube censorship by supporting me on Patreon. You'll also get access to exclusive, never-before-seen videos and other perks like monthly Google Hangouts with me, free books and t-shirts, and more.